I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sailed because right now, every order ships absolutely.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the Oreo Express. Josh here. Hope you're all having a wonderful day today. We are back for show 2 today. And let's see here. It is still Tuesday, March 11th. We got a lot of stuff to talk about right now. Let me do this really quick. But want to say thank you to everybody jumping in. Let's see who we got here. We got Hunter's in the house, Susan, Pixie, KLM79, Mikey Ray. Did I already say Susan? I did say Susan. Cade, Texas, Nola, First Amendment Media, Matt in the house, and let's see, Trina, welcome. Thanks for joining us on our afternoon show. We appreciate you. Good. Someone texted me, and I text them, hey, live right now, and they actually got the notification. I know a lot of you haven't been getting your notifications, so we'll see how that works out. And again, we're going to sit here and see how this works. Let me see something. 33. Okay. Checking some things out. We're going to talk about the continuing resolution, the bill. We're also going to talk about Trump and buying a Tesla today outside the White House, showing support for Elon Musk, who the left is trying to destroy. Tesla, Starlink. They're trying to destroy everything because, again, the man volunteered his time to help try and save the United States of America, which is on the path of going bankrupt. And I think you all know that. But again, the left, they don't care. I think if you drive us into bankrupt and there's all these socialist Marxist leaders, it gives them more power and more control because you're reliant on the government. So we're going to talk about that. Also, we got some woke stuff. And as well as something going on at USAID. I don't like saying USAID. It sounds like that's for us. USAID. And we're going to get into all that stuff. And again, Karen said, share it again, 3 sites. Thank you guys for sharing this out, getting this out to everybody. It does help. Mike said, Matt says the left wants bankruptcy. Yes, absolutely. And we're going to go over some of that stuff. And one of the things that we covered yesterday that I'd like to I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on, but remember when the Ukrainian, this people that were given billions, hundreds of billions of dollars to, came out with a hit list against some of, I guess you could say, what they want to say is right-wing conservatives, people that were against funding a never-ending war and things like that. Well, I find it interesting. We reported yesterday morning that Jamie White, one of the journalists for War Room, was murdered down outside his apartment complex after he left the InfoWars studio. And this is now going around, and I didn't even think to look yesterday, but it's getting some traffic. And this is one of his, hold on, let me fix this. One of his tweets says, I I'm on the Ukrainian enemies list due to my work at InfoWars and with Real Alex Jones on the Ukraine proxy war. The group who compiled this list is tied to the U.S. State Department, USAID, CIA, and George Soros. And I just find that, I don't know if there's going to be any connections there. But once again, Democrats, our own federal government didn't care that there was a Ukrainian enemies list. People that were speaking of up, and all these people are America first. How bad is it to be America first that you have to worry about someone coming out and killing you? And so I went and looked, and as of 2 hours ago, there was no update on his murder. I couldn't find any suspect. I'm sure if that does come out, we will be covering. That. But Matt says sounds like he got Clintoned. You never know these days, right? I mean, think about that. Would be an act of terror. That would be an act of war, in my opinion, if some group in Ukraine labeled everybody that was not for funding an endless war and put them on this enemies list. It's crazy. I guess we'll have to find out here soon. Another thing I wanted to this came from, I'm going to close this up really quick. Senate Judiciary Democrats. And I see a couple pages and I'm looking and I'm like, oh, I wonder if this is important. It says, don't fall for Donald Trump's grandstanding. He does not have the power to ignore the law of the land. And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on there because I think we are probably going to have a long show with all this stuff. But this was from Congress of the United States. Dear President Trump, we are writing you to address the troubling and misguided interpretation of the Constitution advanced in your January 2025 proclamation titled Guaranteeing the State's Protection Against Invasion. So, guaranteeing the state's protection against invasion is once again when we had Joe Biden in office, we had rapists, murderers, terrorists freely coming across the southern border and the northern border, usually flagging down Border Patrol, getting a hot meal, getting released, free hotel, free air flight, all that. And when I say free, free refers to taxpayer funded. You were paying for that. And it says, since you came into office, you have attempted to expand the scope of presidential power beyond that which is permitted by the United States Constitution and applicable federal laws. This proclamation is no different. It raises two novel legal claims that the term invasion, as it is used in Article 4 of the Constitution, means something other than an armed attack by a foreign power, and two, that an invasion so defined triggers unilateral presidential power over immigration. These people are still on immigration. This was done today, March 11th. This is from his inauguration speech. Again, yes, guaranteeing the state's protection against an invasion. That's what it is. When you have people leeching off your taxes, murdering your children, raping your daughters, it is an invasion. And again, I told you guys, if it wasn't up to Trump, I think we would have probably had a civil war, because I know a lot of damn patriots that just would have went down there with catapults and sent them back. And we're lucky it's being done a little bit more humanely, right? They're getting on back of cargo planes, back of military planes. They're going home where they belong to be. They came into this country illegally. And sorry, it's not a free ride. There's a legal process and a legal way to do all this. And I just thought it was funny. March 11th, and this was done on January 20th, and you're finally getting around to it. Now, in more Democrat craziness, because these are Democrats pushing this stuff. This was from Libs of TikTok. You can't make this up. And this judge, well, I can't say what needs to happen to the judge, but you can determine that. Insane. District Judge Richard Young has ruled that the Indiana, see, now this is the stuff that like Matt and Jay Lynn support. It's got to be because it's Indiana. The Indiana Department of Corrections must arrange urgent gender affirming surgery for the baby murdering trans inmate Autumn Cardaleone, aka Jonathan Richardson. Richardson, a man pretending to be a woman, is currently serving 55 years in prison for killing his 11-month-old stepdaughter. I'll tell you what, an eye for an eye. Release this person in general population and let nature take its course. Same thing like Jeffrey Dahmer and some of the other sick, twisted individuals. And again, this person killed their 11-month-old stepdaughter. Now, and what the hell is urgent gender affirming surgery? Urgent. Like, oh my God, if we don't cut off this man's penis. What is this? Where are we today that this is where we are at and this is how things are going? Again, we got a long road ahead of us. And again, it's going to take you doing a little bit more. Local stuff matters. Make your voices heard. Because again, this stuff is happening on a local level that you wouldn't understand, especially in school boards right now. We have plenty of school boards that's going against Trump's mandate to get the pornography and all the trans stuff out. Almost needed a swear jar there instead of stuff. I almost said something else. But I just can't believe it. But it was beautiful. I got to say, Rep. Keith Self of Texas, thank you for just being one of us, being realistic. Want you to listen to this.
From Delaware, Mr. McBride. As the representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ranking Member Keating, also wonderful.
Mr. Chairman, could you repeat your introduction again, please?
We have set the standard on the floor of the House, and I'm simply.
What is that standard, Mr. Chairman? Would you repeat what you just said when you introduced a duly elected representative from the United States of America, please?
I will. The representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Mr. Chairman, you are out of order. Mr. Chairman, have you no decency? I've come to know you a little bit, but this is not decent.
We will continue this.
You will not continue it with me unless you introduce a duly elected representative the right way.
This hearing is adjourned.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So we have, again, elected somebody that goes by the name of Sarah McBride. It is a man. It will always be a man. You're not going to change the DNA of that person. And so when Rep. Keith introduced as congressman, somebody got triggered. You know, maybe he should have said, let me introduce Congressman Congress. These people will never be happy. They're playing along with this mental illness instead of saying, hey, this is what you are. We're not going to go along with it. We're not going to call God a liar, because that's what you're doing. If you call a man a woman in any stretch, one, you're calling God a liar. It's that simple. He made you in his image. And we don't need to play along anymore. Trump signed an executive order that we have two sexes, male and female. Should never have been done. Who would have thought we would have need that in 2025? But with Democrats and what they're trying to do to destroy our youth, destroy our communities, indoctrinate our children, we're here. We're here. It's just incredible. But let's listen to it one more time because it triggers the world.
As the representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ranking Member Keating, also wonderful.
Mr. Chairman, could you repeat your introduction again, please?
We have set the standard on the floor of the House, and I'm simply.
What is that standard, Mr. Chairman?
The
Would you
standard-
repeat what you just said when
I-
you introduced a duly elected representative from the United States of America? Please.
I will. The representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Mr. Chairman, you are out of order. Mr. Chairman, have you no decency?
Now, don't you think that same conversation should have been going to the other You got a man wearing a dress over here. Don't you have any decency? Don't you have any decency? It's like, woo, crazy land. Crazy land.
I mean, I've come to know you a little bit, but this is not decent.
We will continue this.
You
hearing.
will not continue it with me unless you introduce a duly elected representative the right way.
This hearing is adjourned.
Ta-ta for now, right? Ta-ta for now. And you know what? I wanted to give a shout out. I don't think old Uncle Bill's in here yet. I think he was out. He said he was going to dinner with some friends, but I think he was out buying RW a new tutu. So let me pull this up. You know how RW gets when he doesn't get his weekly tutus. C. Marcia, thank you very much for your Zelle donation earlier. It is appreciated. We're trying to get caught up on the beginning of the month bills. And hold on, let's see. I got to find him now. Dale, I didn't give you that you did a Cash App right after we ended the live stream. And again, old Uncle Bill. So we got Marcia and old Uncle Bill and Dale. Those were the ones that did the online donations. We appreciate you. Can't do it without you guys. Can't do it without you. So I wanted to make sure I gave you all a shout out on here. Thank you so much. Now we'll move on. I'm sure it'll get more normal. So Trump, with everything going on with Tesla, and we've been covering it for a few weeks now, since Inauguration Day, they've been torching Teslas outside of the dealerships. They've been shooting guns into the dealership. We actually had one. Was it Salem, Oregon? And it was in Oregon. I don't remember if it was Salem, but you had a trans terrorist that was arrested for doing that. Was arrested. Even had an incendiary device when they were arrested. And there's a big, I guess you could say, push from law enforcement to find out who's doing this. We covered it yesterday. Jonathan Cho out near Seattle was out there. Multiple Teslas burned. I mean, trying to destroy an American-made product, the most American-made product on a vehicle that you will find in the United States. Did you know that? So Trump was out there today. He went and picked up a Tesla. And he wanted to show strong support for Elon. I listened to the whole press conference. I just want to give you some highlights and show you the same Democrats that try to go after people saying, oh, well, you don't want to send another $100 billion to Ukraine. You're Putin's puppet. So again, one of the most American-made truck in the United States. Look at this. There was a post and the Democrats literally posted this on X. You cannot make this up. Ugly ass truck. Somebody can put $1 in a swear jar for me because I was reading. It didn't come out. Think about that for a second. They're going after a company who employs more than any Democrat does. Again, they're upset now because what they call employment is working for the government, being paid by the taxpayer. Those people are being paid because of their hard work. And the post they were sharing says Trump desperately tries to boost Tesla's plummeting stock after accusing Americans of illegally boycotting the company. So I just want to make some things really clear. What do we got here? For your new leopard print coat. Thank you, Matt. I almost missed that one. It was yellow. I'm getting old. I'm telling you right now, I'm getting old. I don't see yellow as well. And then Rachel keeps telling my family that I'm going deaf because I say huh all the time. And I'm like, if you speak up, I don't say huh. So I think she's losing her voice. We'll blame it on that. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate you. Jalen says Josh's swear jar for Pixie. Thank you, Jalen. Thank you. Man, we have both of them in here today, guys. I think we're just going to end the show. It's complete now. I cannot believe that. I guess that little additive in the iced tea is not working for Jalen anymore. Nice try, Matt. So what we have here is Democrats going after an American company. Again, no morals, no values, nothing to the sort. And we've seen a lot of that. Now, I just want to show you. This one was from Democrat Media Wins, which is the old Kamala Harris Wins account. It says, breaking, as the stock market and the economy collapse, Donald Trump is filming ads for Elon Musk and Tesla. Now, I don't think he's filming ads, but let's go check it out. And again, guys, just in case, I don't know what your Powerball is or what your Super Lotto is in your country, but if you win, just buy me a Tesla. I would love to rock a Tesla with a big fat Trump sticker all the way through California. I would love it. Check this out.
Well, I'm going to buy.
Hello, President Trump. Are you looking to buy or lease today?
Well, I'm going to buy. And I'm going to buy because, number one, it's a great product, as good as it gets. And number two, because this man has devoted his energy and his life to doing this. And I think he's been treated very unfairly by a very small group of people. And I just want people to know that you can't be penalized for being a patriot. And he's a great patriot. And he's also done an incredible job with Tesla. And I mean, nobody else has a car company started up in the last 30 years that's been successful. I don't think so. And not only successful, but super successful. And because he's able to find...
Sorry, I hit the wrong button.
Well, I'm going to buy. Years it's been successful. I don't think so. And not only successful, but super successful. And because he's able to find billions and billions and billions of dollars of fraud and waste and all of the things. I mean, our country is going to be very strong very soon because of a lot of the things that he's done and a lot of the things that I'm doing. And there's no better team, but there's no better for what we're doing. There's nobody like this, and he shouldn't be penalized. And when I watched the other day, I said, I can't believe it. It should be the opposite. People should be going wild, and they love the product, but because he's finding all sorts of terrible things that have taken place against our country, they want to penalize him in a economic sense. And I just think that's very unfair. So I just wanted to make a statement. I'm going to buy one. Now, here's the bad news. I'm not allowed to drive because I haven't driven a car in a long time, and I love to drive cars. But I'm going to have it at the White House, and I'm going to let my staff use it. I'm going to let people at the place use it. And they all are all excited about that. I'm not allowed to use it. Can you believe it? One of my great things in life is that I can, I like to drive cars, but I'm not allowed to.
Oh man, I listened to this whole press conference in the background. And again, what we are seeing is an act of terrorism, especially. So I just want to do this. And I said this earlier, and we will cover a little bit of Canada backing down on their tariffs on electricity and threatening to cut off electricity because Trump went right back. And guess what? Canada folded. We'll talk about that. Canada actually, Ford will be here tomorrow or Thursday, one of the two. We'll get into that. But if a guy in a MAGA hat goes to a power generation plant and burns it down, it's an act of terrorism. We have these Tesla charging systems that help with our infrastructure. They are based infrastructure. And if you're from California, you know how important charging systems are. They're doing all this. It's an act of terrorism. These are the same groups that's protesting outside of colleges. These are the same groups that have been in the streets since Black Lives Matter, the same groups that we fought out in Portland, Oregon, the same groups we fought down at that's now a libtard college, the home of free speech, when we were down there in 2015. It's the same people. It's the same people that hate this country. It's the same people that, because We have an abundance of good, and we share that good. We help out so many countries. You've seen the hundreds of billions of dollars. I mean, even for transgender operas that we push out of the country, and now they're upset because their gravy train's coming to an end. Listen to what Chris, again, and he triggered the left. I love it because they're the ones losing their mind. And I have seen a lot of people put on here just recently that they are buying Teslas. Like I said, I would love to buy a Tesla, even a used one. I would love to have one for our family car. That would be excellent. My sister has 2 of them. She absolutely loves them, and they've been good to her. You know what? I want one, guys. I'm just going to be honest with you. Just imagine going to LA this weekend. Put it on autopilot, sit there on Twitter and enjoy. It would make the live stream so much better, I'm telling you. This one says, imagine if Joe Biden or Obama pulled a stunt like this to try and prop up a friend's stock. Obviously, we won't get into who Chris Jackson is. You should know if you're anywhere on the X world. I just thought this was kind of funny. What did Obama and Biden do? Was it hundreds of billions? Not just some cars outside the White House. It was hundreds of billions to foreign countries. It was padding the pockets of their friends and NGOs. We've seen it. You don't need to tell us. What Chris wants to happen is for Elon Musk to start out the Tesla NGO facility and then fund him with $100 billion so he could pay himself millions of dollars a year and work to invade our country. Isn't it great how stupid some of these people are? And yes, I mean stupid. Listen to this. I like this part because this is what I was talking about.
Some say they should be labeled domestic terrorists.
I will do that. I'll do it. I'm going to stop them. We catch anybody doing it because they're harming a great American company. You know, I've stuck up for the NFL. I've stuck up for a lot of American companies and other companies, but American companies. I did a very big favor for the NFL. I do favors for all. When you heard an American company, especially a company like this, supplies so many jobs that others are unable to do, when you do that, those people are going to go through a big problem when we catch them. And we got a lot of cameras up.
See, he says some key things. We got a lot of cameras up, and I'll tell you why I think that is, and we'll finish this. It's because he's got Elon right there. He's been talking to some of the FBI and the teams out there and say, do we have video of these people lighting these charging stations on fire? Do we have video of these people? Because Teslas have cameras in them, believe it or not, and they record. And so, and we're going to get into some of that in a minute, but I think there's going to be some great arrests coming, and we get to celebrate.
We already know who some of them are. We're
Hear that? We already know who some of them are. Trans-Tifa.
going to catch them. And they're bad guys. They're the same guys that screw around with our schools and universities, the same garbage. And we're going to catch them. And let me tell you, you do it to Tesla and you do it to any company, we're going to catch you and you're going to go through hell.
Any company. And that's the way it should be. We've seen them firebomb ICE facilities. We've seen them, the federal building in Portland. How many times have that thing been destroyed? Mocktails, Molotov cocktails through the window. I said mocktails. I could use a mocktail right now. And so think about that for a second, folks. We actually have someone that's saying law and order in the White House. Instead of what happened under Joe Biden, he wouldn't even know if 100 people were murdered in a Tesla dealership. Democrats wouldn't even bring it up. And guess what? Well, we're going to show you in a minute, but we've talked about, never noticed it like that. I love this. Hold on.
Get them the hell out of the country.
So he speaks on behalf. One of the questions he was asked was about these terrorists that are in this country by permission, and permission can be revoked at any time. We talked about that, and we're also going to show you the mass arrest happening that happened about 2 hours ago in New York because, again, they're not following the law, following police orders. But listen to this.
President Trump, there's this protest leader from Columbia University that the administration is moving to deport. He said that his arrest is going to be the first of. How many?
I think we ought to get them all out of the country. They're troublemakers. They're agitators. They don't love our country. We ought to get them the hell out. I think that guy, we ought to get him. I heard his statements, too. They were plenty bad. And I think we ought to get him the hell out of the country. I watched him. I watched tapes. Specifically, I watched tapes. And you can have them. Okay? You can have them.
I love that. You can have him. We don't want him here. And guess what? He doesn't have the privilege of staying here. It's a free country for those who are citizens, those who are granted permission in, but that permission can be revoked if you were not born here. Don't you just love it, guys? Don't you just love it? And Jay Lynn, big shout out to Jay Lynn, gifting 5 subscriptions to Oreo Express. Make sure you give Jay Lynn a big high five and a thank you in the chat. Thank you so much, Jay Lynn. We appreciate you more than you know.
And you can have the rest of them.
And you can have the rest of them.
Let them go to school. Let them learn. Columbia used to be a good school. Now it's been overrun because of bad leadership. That's what happens. Happens to countries, and it happens to universities, and it happens to companies.
So I can't disagree with them. And I think the next one, let's see. So this is a tweet from someone that says, "The rock that was hurled at my 3-year-old daughter because you don't like Tesla, waiting for the store's surveillance to match the man caught on my dash cam. Thankful for Tesla security hardware and software." So these are the rocks and things, and we've shown you over the last couple days, last couple weeks actually, of people attacking Teslas, chasing after them, beating on them. I mean, completely Tesla derangement syndrome. TDS has a whole new meaning now. And these people are not well. They need to be first held on a 5150 and then put in jail. Charge them. If you guys remember, again, this is your power grid infrastructure right there. Those are Tesla charging stations. Nothing coming from Democrats. Look at the bullet holes in the Tesla showroom. Look at the graffiti and the vandalism. Not once did a Democrat say, hey, this is not right. We should not be. We need to be more civil. Look at all those Teslas that are burnt down. This is an act of terror. And I hope they catch the folks. And once again, when we talked about the left calling for and inciting violence in the streets, bring a weapon, do this, do that, get in their faces. We've heard it for a very long time. And it's unfortunate that it continues to happen like this. Really quick, let me throw this up on there. Where are we at? Yes. In today's society, it's tough to be a man in a world dominated by overly masculine liberal women. That's just how it's meant to be. Everywhere we look, it's gender neutral. This product are made for her, that product. That is why we started the company that embodies the ethos of men's lives matter too. With products that aren't designed to be gender neutral, are used by people with pronouns. Our products at Rumble are designed and built for men, by men, period. So if you struggle with low energy, mood swings, hair loss, or if you need to perform better at the gym, maybe in bed, and recover quicker after, throw out all your other garbage supplements and try animal organs. They are traditionally the most nutrient-rich supplements on the planet, but our bison organs are a step above. The grass-fed, non-vaccinated bison are a species where the weak are allowed to die and only the strong survive. So here's our commitment to you. From our men who have real confidence in their products, try this today, and if you don't like it, fine. Return it for a refund. Go to benaked.com, code studio, and get 15% off today. Again, guys, that's BeNaked, BeNaked.com, and use code studio, get 15% off. So what else do we got going on today? How about this one? I love this one. A man torches a Tesla Charger in Southern California and catches his clothes on fire. I love it. North Charleston, South Carolina. This looks like it's an Associated Press. A man burned 3 Tesla Chargers in South Carolina parking lot and also apparently inadvertently set his clothes on fire, police said. The man spray painted "Long Live the Ukraine" and a crude reference to President Donald Trump on the pavement next to the charging stations Friday near an outlet mall in North Charleston, according to a report from the North Charleston police. The man then ignited an unidentified material stuffed into a beer bottle and began to throw the bottles at the stations, police said. While doing so, he caught the clothes on his back on fire, then ran from the parking lot, witnesses told police. Oh, man, I love it when it's called instant justice. Instant justice. That's what they get, guys. That's what they get. Oh, man. But, hey, you know what? If it comes up to CNN, the shooting, the fire bombings, all that is peaceful, folks. Just as peaceful as the summer of love. We told you it was coming. I want you to listen to
at
this.
A Tesla dealer. To Tiger now, where police say someone shot at a Tesla dealership overnight. Employees discovered the damage this morning. At least 3 cars and windows were broken. One bullet even went through an office wall and hit a computer. Fortunately, no one was there at the time. The shooting is believed to have happened just before 2 a.m. No details yet on a suspect or description. To Tiger now, where police say someone...
So let's just see how CNN Business reports this. It says Tesla faces vandalism and protest amid backlash against Elon Musk. And the first sentence, though protests have been peaceful, there has also been widespread reports of vandalism. So it is now peaceful to go by a dealership and open fire on the dealership. According to CNN, that is peaceful, folks. Gosh, I would hate to see what happens if some people, if some peaceful folks drove by CNN headquarters, right? I'm sure they wouldn't be calling it peaceful then. You can't hate legacy media enough. It's just crazy. Well, again, they are protesting. The same people that are attacking Teslas, the same people that hate this country, the same people that want to destroy the United States are now protesting on behalf of somebody that will be deported. Check this out. This was in New York.
You're not doing speeches here. You're in the middle of the street. You want to walk on the sidewalk and do it. I'm going to start making arrests.
So there's the warning. An officer has a right to tell you to get out of the street.
We're going to give you, you got 2 minutes. You got to start moving again.
Go. So there's your dispersal order to get out of the street. Get on the sidewalk. You can protest all you want. Now, these people are all going to play the victims, but the good thing is they'll also get arrested.
All right. Do the first one. No problem. We're going to start making arrests in 2 minutes. You can start marching.
Back to Long Island. Go back to Rochester. Back to Long Island. Go back.
We're going to start making arrests right here.
We are going to move. Really, really, really.
Look at that.
Really slow.
It's almost like just watching these people, like the 7 or 8 year old that just didn't get their way. And fine, I'll go put my toy away. And they walk as slow as they can and they look back at their parents. Deport them all.
Right here. Oh, sorry. All right, let's move really slow. Walking place is a little bit more than that. Repeat after me. Over the last 2 years. We have seen our university.
All right, guys, we gotta walk.
Our administrators. Whether at CUNY. At Columbia. At NYU. Are complicit. In working hand in hand. With the Trump presidency. To ensure that our campuses. Are in a constant state of terror.
It is kind of fun to watch, guys. It is kind of, you have to ask yourself, well, did they all ride this small bus? Because it seems that way. And then, so guess what? They wouldn't listen. They wanted to fight with police. They wanted to be terrorists. And they got treated like terrorists. There was mass arrest after they refused. And check out some of this video from freedomnews.tv. Check this out.
Fascist USA! No cops! No KKK! No fascist USA!
No cops!
That's illegal! Stop that! Cut that shit out! Whoa! Stop being violent! Get off! Fuck you, cop! You're agitating! That's illegal! Get off of him! Get off! That is illegal!
Oh, I couldn't be there. It would have been a knee. I would have been throwing knees and elbows.
Stop pushing! Little fucking bitches!
Hey guys, anyone in the street is going to be placed under arrest, guys. Let's go.
Officer, 111, get this guy. Let's grab somebody.
Let's go, guys. Everybody
I didn't do anything either. Get the fuck off of me. Listen, get these fuck off of me.
She was in the street. Stop.
Were you in the street when they said get out? Oh, getting the first lesson.
Get up on the sidewalk. Let her go.
That's illegal. Untouch her. This is what unvetted immigration gets you. This is what happens when you bow down to these dirtbag Muslim communities that hate this country.
Hands up our students now! 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 Hands up our students now!
get up on the sidewalk. Let's go.
Students now.
Hey guys, hold on. We're gonna start. Guys, you don't have to push. We're gonna start making arrests. You're blocking vehicular traffic. If you don't make it to the sidewalk, you're going to be arrested.
Anybody that grabs somebody and interferes with the arrest should be hit over the head with a baton. Let them get all these white liberals, because that's what most of it is.
Get up on the sidewalk. You're going to be arrested.
Yo, give me a cop.
I want
Man, your blood pressure, it's just like, man, put that call out. Put that call out. We need American patriots in the street. You know, we'll be first in line. Let's play ball. Let's play ball. Nola, thank you so much. It says, thank you for your excellent reporting. Thank you for the Venmo donation. We appreciate you. Every little bit helps. And thank you, Nola, for being part of the Oreo Army and a continued supporter of us. Thank you so much, Nola. Oh, man. So we covered it a little bit before. The judge that blocked the deportation orders from ICE on this specific student, Laura Loomer, excellent reporting, has broke more coverage and done some more investigative work. It says the Obama-appointed Jewish U.S. federal judge, Jesse Furman of the Southern District of New York, has a brother-in-law via his wife, Ariella Dublar, who is tied to the pro-Hamas, pro-Muslim Brotherhood group, Faculty and Staff for Justice in Palestine Network. This is, let me pull this up for you. It says, this is a massive conflict of interest that should disqualify Judge Furman from overseeing the case involving the Trump administration's deportation order for a Palestinian foreign national, Mohammad Khalil, a green card holder who organized pro-Hamas Palestinian riots at Columbia University in New York. It says, here's the receipts. Judge Jesse Furman, brother-in-law named Josh Dubler, is an associate professor of religion at the University of Rochester and member of the University of Rochester's chapter, Faculty for Justice for Palestine. University of Rochester is located in New York. In November 2024, Josh Dubler attended the arraignment of 4 students at the University of Rochester who were facing suspension for participating in pro-Hamas Palestinian protests on campus that threatened and intimidated Jewish students and faculties. The students passed out hundreds of wanted posters with photos of Jewish faculty members that were discovered at the University of Rochester. Josh Dubler called on the university to drop the criminal charges against the students. Faculty and Staff of Justice in Palestine says on their website that they amplify the work of Students for Justice in Palestine, along with other pro-Palestinian students groups and campus unions. Mohammed Khalif is affiliated with Students for Justice in Palestine, and he worked with them to organize a pro-Hamas riots on the campus of Columbia University when he was a student there. Judge Jesse Furman needs to recuse himself. And again, the receipts are all right here. Again, when you dig and you find out the information, this isn't, we're just making a call here. This is a lawful, legal, a justice call by a judge. No, this is an activist who it's quite clear. On the first show, we went over who his wife was and what she was in part of. And I just love this. I got to show you this.
Organization.
It only, CNN, man. CNN. God bless Scott Jennings.
President alien, he can be deported under U.S. law for if the Secretary of State has any reasonable ground to believe he would have a potentially serious adverse foreign policy consequence. And you mentioned the student organization. The student organization
let me
finish.
But before you move on, because I think that's a really important point, right? That's the statute that they're using.
Yeah.
Have you seen any evidence to suggest that there is actually a serious reason to believe that this student is going to be a threat to national security?
I've certainly watched the abomination that's gone on at Columbia and Barnard and other places, and I will just tell you,
threat to national security.
And I'll just tell you that
I'm not going to let you move on because this is.
I'll tell you why it's a threat to national security if you let me answer you.
Well, Scott,
do you want me to answer you or not?
Okay.
His organization says we are dedicated, fighting for the total eradication of Western civilization.
Okay.
He's not a citizen. He doesn't need
the total eradication. Oh my gosh! See, this is what I mean. Anybody that puts that is on a green card, on a visa. The eradication of Western civilization, guys. And who's defending him? Democrats.
Of Western civilization.
Okay.
He's not a citizen. He doesn't need to be here.
You just described him having viewpoints that you disagree with. Again, is that enough to have someone lose their rights in this country?
He has viewpoints that, in my opinion, jeopardize the security of the United States.
But how?
He is obviously a radical who is here to foment.
No, he's not a radical at all.
Violence against the United States government.
He wants to destroy Western civilization.
Against the United States government.
You're saying eradicate Western civilization doesn't make you a radical?
Has he acted in any way that is violence against the United States government?
I think these protests and the violence they have fomented and the intimidation and fear against the Jewish kids on these campuses is absolutely an act of insurrection against the United States.
I don't think any American speech, Scott. That's enough.
Look, look, what they have engaged in is a clear threat to the United States. And if you want the United States to be overrun by radicals the way Europe has, be my guest. But I think the president needs to stand up for the integrity of the United States.
What is the threat?
The threat of our country being and our college campuses being overrun by radicals who are trying to run Jewish kids off of campuses and anybody else who disagrees. Yes, they are. In UCLA. No, in UCLA.
First of all,
they wouldn't even let them go to class.
First of all,
Columbia is an abomination.
First of all, there were violent counter protests at UCLA that were done by Jewish organizations.
No, both sides. Anti-Semitism is a scourge on this country. Do not
it absolutely
is that it is not clear that this particular student has engaged in the specific actions that he was talking about. And you've shown me no evidence of that either.
Okay, well, guess what? He is not a citizen. If he were a citizen, I might feel differently. He's a guest in this country.
Okay.
It's my view.
So in other words,
it's the Trump administration.
But it doesn't matter.
No, I didn't walk in here with my gumshoe investigative case, Abby. But here's what I do think. This guy's running an organization at Columbia that has ruined 2 solid years of people's lives.
Deported based on allegations that you have not substantiated.
I think he should be deported based on what the Trump administration has already identified. He is a threat to the national security.
Don't you just love CNN trying to, again, the Marxists, the communists, side with them? I can promise you, if this would have been white folks and they would have been blocking black folks from attending colleges, that woman would have a different thought on. She would be playing the victim. She would say, deport these white people. But because those people were Palestinians, were pro-Hamas supporters, and fit right in line with her ideology, she wants to protect them. And I think you can't get any clearer than that. You can't get any clearer. And it's hard to argue with stupidity. I mean, I can sit here and argue with this wall all day, and I'll get about as far as Scott Jennings will with her. But what Scott does so beautifully and eloquently is he exposes them. Check this out. This was earlier today.
Was filed on Saturday afternoon.
We'll get into the meat and potatoes. This was Speaker Mike Johnson talking about all the lies you're hearing, all the fake news, and the media portraying it like somehow we're just walking around murdering veterans right now on Trump's new budget. Listen to this.
An issue with reading comprehension, or they are attempting to run one of the most shameful misinformation campaigns that we've ever seen in our lives. We filed that the CR, the continuing resolution, on Saturday, and as was noted, they had already come out panning the bill that literally had not yet been seen. They said, quote, this is the House Democrat leadership team's statement on Friday. Remember, the bill was filed on Saturday afternoon. On Friday, they said, quote, Republicans have decided to introduce a partisan continuing resolution that threatens to cut funding for health care, nutritional assistance, and veterans benefits through the end of the year. Every single word of that is a lie. They just made it up. They didn't read the bill. It's nonsense. People are not buying this. And you see the contrast between one party, which is leading, moving the ball forward for the American people, and the other that is just screaming. Then the Democrats start parroting this talking point in interviews all weekend on CNN. They said, quote, it's so harmful to the American people. You know, cutting Medicaid, cutting Medicare, threatening Social Security, cutting veteran benefits. It's all a lie. You can all read the bills, 99 pages. This clean CR contains no poison pill riders, no policy riders there at all. No cuts to Medicare, Medicaid, or Social Security, 0. No cuts to veterans benefits, 0. In fact, as was noted, we plus up the accounts for veterans. And respectfully, I'm just going to say this to every reporter in the room, that if you're allowing Democrats to make these intentionally false, scurrilous claims without pushback, then you're aiding and abetting the spreading this misinformation. I would just ask you to call them on it. The American people deserve that. They deserve that clarity from our press corps. Make them point it out to you. They can't,
because the legacy media and those liars are all part of it. They are all part of what is going on, pushing the propaganda, trying to scare people. And we actually have something good coming up here in a minute from the Veterans Administration on a fact check. But listen to this right here. People are looking at the stock market and they're looking at this, and I didn't even have a chance to get to on this one because we're already almost an hour in. And we still got a third of the show left. I didn't have a chance to pull up how egg prices have plummeted back to not where they need to be, but back to where they were when Biden was president in December. So we'll see what the Democrats do about that. I'm sure they're going to show some starving kid in a gutter laying in New York. Oh, he couldn't get eggs today. But listen to this again.
The markets aren't taken into account, my view, and I think this is pretty much backed up by everybody I'm speaking to, is that there's there's some goodies coming, right? Lower taxes, less regulation, less fentanyl in this country because we closed the borders, which is going to be good for the economy. Less immigration, which means you don't have illegal immigrants clouding our healthcare system. All this is happening right now, and factored into the market. So I would just say this, if you're looking at this sort of broadly, this is a puke. It Technical term, we need to get some of this out of our system.
So good points. When they try to do the fear tactics, they don't talk about all the long-term effects of a closed border, of all those people that were taking up your health care, the health care costs going down because we don't have to insure so many people that won't insure themselves. And then this one here, I want you to listen to this. This was great. I need your help because
all I seem to be doing lately is fighting
Department
back
of Veteran Affairs. If you've turned on your news, if you've looked at social media, you will hear that Donald Trump is cutting billions away from veterans. Let's hear the truth.
A second thing, Patricia, I really need to know. One of the things that I've been finding, we got into it a little bit in the discussion, but one of the issues that we're having is, and it's something here, I need your help on something. I need your help because all I seem to be doing lately is fighting back against innuendo and rumor stories. And this is what I seem to be fighting about all the time. In fact, Patricia, part of it is with you.
I'm sure.
And I just need your help because when you start headlines with, there's a rumor going around and that we've heard that hurts my veterans. That scares my veterans. That scares my employees because it's not true. Will you commit to not doing that in the future?
Well, there was a DOJ representative that day.
I have a VA employee who is our DOJ liaison. You knew that and you could ask that question.
I did ask that
But
question.
when you got the answer. But my question here is, I need you to commit to not starting off rumors began circulating.
I mean,
well, if it's either true or false, Patricia, and then you go to Patty Murphy saying that we've heard and we have DOJ may have barged into the VA today. Unconfirmed hearsay. You know what you'd have done if I was a member of Congress and probably done that? Unconfirmed report. But you didn't put an unconfirmed report.
Right.
So, Patricia, I want to work together with you.
Okay.
But I need you to commit to me that you're not going to do this.
I'm working on it. And I have been actually, I have another question based on that. Thank you very much.
No, I want to hear the answer first. Are you committing not to do rumors? Because you're scaring my VA employees about this.
That's fair.
And you're scaring my veterans.
Yeah,
that's unforgivable. That's not something I take
But
lightly.
if a rumor is different than if I have a source.
Then you source it to our PR people and let them know. Because you know something, I've got people who are reporting stuff right now who aren't even calling us. They don't even get something from. They don't even call us to check it.
Well, that's not right.
Well, this isn't right either.
Okay. Well, that's fair. But I did call about that.
Good.
I did call about
and you got the answer, but yet you still reported it as a rumor.
Well, I didn't.
Okay. Which is it? Which is it? Is it a rumor or is you get confirmed?
Was that there is a DOJ person there.
There is. Okay. Nobody has said that from you. Nobody. Okay. We answered it, but it was reported as a rumor. I mean, think about this.
I take issue with parsing out my stuff,
in the headline of the story, Elon Musk. Hey, I don't care who wrote it.
I know.
But your byline.
I'm starting to push back on those, and I.
Okay, But you think about what it says here. Elon Musk aide is now working at VA accessing computer systems. Ooh. I mean, that's all in
That's
this.
a true statement.
No, I mean, it is, because you know what? We don't make them. We don't make a Doge employee, which is funny because they're VA employees, a liaison. We don't also give them a.
I was not told that.
We don't give.
I was not told
But
it
you
was
wrote
a
the
Doge
article.
liaison. It
You wrote
told
the
it
article.
was a Doge employee, one Doge employee.
As we look at this, Patricia, I want you to know something. When you look at this headline and you're accessing computer systems, I want to work with you a lot as we go forward. We're going to have a lot of time together.
That's fair.
But I'm not going to have any reporter scaring my employees and scaring the veterans. And that's what this is doing. Let's get it right. I'm the most transparent VA secretary we've had yet. I'm on video. I'm on interviews. I do everything I possibly can to push back against everything I'm hearing. So we got a team that will help you, but I need your commitment to help me too. Okay?
That was epic. We need more of that. Just calling them out with the facts, with the news articles. Again, this is what most of the news, 80% of the news you get from lamestream media, legacy media, the CNNs, and all these bankrupt BS platforms. This is what you're getting. Well, why don't you just call and ask? Yeah, we have a liaison. No big deal. Why are you scaring my veterans? Why are you scaring my VA employees? We're not doing that. But you're going through writing these headlines. Oh, I don't write that. It doesn't matter. You are part of it. And I thought that was just beautiful. Speaking of the bill, the CR, the continued resolution breaking, House Republicans have passed a bill to fund the government through the end of September 2025. It's a major victory for Speaker Mike Johnson, who had previously relied on Democrats for bipartisan support to avert a shutdown. And
without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid. On this vote, the yeas are 217, the nays are 213. The bill is passed without objection. The motion to reconsider is laid upon the table.
It's only going to get better from here. And again, this continued resolution is not what any of us wanted. It's what we needed to happen today to get through the next few months. And with all these cuts and everything that we are going to be doing, then we can get back to what America should be doing, which is bills that aren't just a continuance. And again, there was stuff pulled out of the CR. There was stuff added to the CR. It wasn't what we had just, what was it, last September? I think it was. And another thing, I seen Nick Sortor posted this, and I think this is huge. And I also think this should give you some insight to what's happening. It says breaking, the U.S. House just extended the statute of limitations for people who committed COVID fraud, allowing those who stole COVID relief funds to continue to be prosecuted. And it says Doge is coming for these criminals. Democrats are apparently very afraid of this, considering 127 of them voted against it. So they are extending the statute of limitations for all the crooks and criminals who fraudulently accessed COVID funds. So we're gonna see that. And you know what? Today is a special day for me. I got a notification, and out of all the departments that need cutting, out of everything, one of those that I despise the most is the education department. Again, I got into politics because I was involved in my children's education at school and all the indoctrination going on. This was CNN breaking news. The Department of Education will begin sweeping layoffs tonight with about half of its 4,400 employees expected to be let go. This should be a celebration. The Department of Education did nothing for your children, your grandchildren. This was a big union hall. That's all that was. And these people are livid. These people are upset. And it's exactly the one, if you guys remember when I talk about Trump's first term, And people say, well, what's your disappointment in Trump's first term? And I get it. We had COVID and we had other things going on that was taking the cake, right? But it was the Department of Education, abolishing the Department of Education. Before he even talked about doing it. When I spoke at the school boards, that was one of my goals, was I wanted to see that Department of Education gone. I mean, these are the people that held your child hostage for more money in order to come back after COVID. These are the people, this department right here helps with those policies. Well, it's a bad teacher, but they got tenure. So we're not gonna fire them. We're not gonna do anything. I think those days, and the union's gonna hate it, those days of just milking off the taxpayer are gonna be long gone, and you're gonna see education go up. I seen this today. This is interesting. A lot of people are tweeting about this right now. The U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, employees have been directed to clear out classified safes and personnel documents from the building where the agency is housed and shred or burn the records. Now, I want to show you, this is CBS News right here. And we'll show you another one. According to screenshots of an email obtained by CBS News. Look at this. Shred as many documents first and reserve the burn bags for when the shredder becomes unavailable or needs a break. If you need to use burn bags, do not overfill and ensure the burn bag can be closed with staples at the top. The only labeling required on the burn bags are the words secret and USAID in a dark Sharpie if possible. If you need additional burn bags or Sharpie markers, please let me or the SEC Info Secretary team know. Does this seem like something's going on bad here? This is like Hillary Clinton sending out this email. Why shred as many documents first and reserve the burn bags for when the shredder becomes unavailable? Who is stopping this from happening? I mean, the FBI, whoever, needs to go in there and see what they're hiding, what they're burning. Why are they getting rid of all this information? This is crazy. This was from Mike Benz. This is a 5-alarm fire. Right now, as we speak, today, USAID is shredding and burning the contents of the agency's classified safe. The key information needed to reconstruct the history of USAID's weaponization, both at home and abroad. This must be stopped. And this is Politico. It says USAID official tells remaining staffers shred and burn all your documents. A senior official at USAID instructed the agency's remaining staff to convene at the agency's now former headquarters in Washington on Tuesday for an all-day group effort to destroy documents stored there, many of them which contain sensitive information. The material earmarked for destruction include contents of the agency's classified safe and personnel documents. At the Ronald Reagan building, said in an email sent by USAID's acting executive director, Erica Carr, and obtained by Politico. Shred as many documents first. I mean, we're watching this play out right before our eyes, guys. This is insane. Again, I just went through all this stuff right before, so there might be updates. Actually, let me see if there's any updates, any response from Marco Rubio, since he is now in charge of what's left of USAID. Nope, no updates. I can't believe that. NBC News is reporting. Look at that. Told the now, if there isn't people that are handcuffed very soon and people who don't spend the rest of their life in prison, they are covering up for all the waste, abuse, the fraud. There's so much stuff that they are getting rid of right now that again, leads us down that paper trail that we need to prove what's been going on over the last decade. I can't believe it. That is insane. The Oversight Project tweeted this. It says, we analyzed, and we've kind of talked about it. I think we talked about it last week about some Republicans getting together and stating that most of the executive orders, including the pardons that Joe Biden signed the day before he left office, were all done by AutoPen. And so this is saying right here, it says, we analyzed Biden's January 19 pardons for Biden family members, Anthony Fauci, General Milley, J6 Committee, and Gerald Lundgren. They all have the same exact AutoPen Biden signature. And this was from March 10. And it said, who is behind the AutoPen on 12/30/2022 that pardoned 6 criminals with the exact same AutoPen signature while Joe Biden was vacationing and golfing in the U.S. Virgin Islands? Note, they all say that they are signed in the city of Washington. Our AutoPen investigation continues. And it goes back. Whoever controlled the AutoPen controlled the presidency. We gathered every document we could find with Biden's signature over the course of his presidency. Well, hell, now I'm turning into a liberal. Men can get pregnant. It says all use the same AutoPen signature except for the announcement that the former president was dropping out of the race last year. Here's his AutoPen signature. So, and this comes after Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey asked the DOJ to investigate whether Biden's cognitive mental decline allowed unelected officials to make decisions without his knowledge or approval. They are going to be fighting these pardons of these people, and we might just happen to see justice. That will be epic. Let me do this really quick. Get this on board really quick. Rumble Premium, guys. This sponsorship is from Rumble, one that is incredibly important to the survival of our company. When Rumble first started in 2013, they built a platform for a small creator. They didn't censor or have biases. They were fair and treated all creators equally. No one thought platforms would censor political conversation or censor opinions on COVID, but they did. Facebook admitted they fell to pressure from the Biden and Harris administration. Rumble did not. They held the line. They are attacked daily for giving us a voice to talk to you. They are attacked in corporate media. They are attacked by governments like France. They are attacked from brand advertisers who refuse to work with them. Corporate America is fighting to remove speech. Rumble is fighting to keep it. Rumble won't survive with brand advertisers. They don't get much of it. Watching our show on Rumble is the most they can ask for from you. But if you really believe in this fight and you have the means, one major way you can help Rumble survive is by joining Rumble Premium. Join the community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in our human right to free speech. Rumble is offering $10 off with promo code STUDIO when you purchase an annual subscription. Go to rumble.com/premium and use promo code STUDIO. Like I said, if you have the means and believe in the cause, now is the time to join Rumble Premium. If you do not have the means, we are just happy if you watch us on Rumble. So check it out, rumble.com/premium. Help keep free speech on the internet, guys. Let me end that there. I thought this was interesting. We're going to talk about Canada really quick. And somebody put this out yesterday from the Government of Canada's website. The Government of Canada announces $272 million to Bangladesh to fill the gap caused by USAID. Again, we talked about, was it at Bangladesh where they used 10 million for circumcisions? I could be wrong. Bangladesh could have been one of those tranny operas. I don't know. It says this is what it's going to cover. The government of Canada announces 272 million. That's a lot of money, right? Intersectional democratic spaces in Bangladesh, gender responsive and inclusive education, community resilience through locally led inclusive adaptation. So they're funding the wokeness now. And I seen some people that were pretty upset. I'll show you this post here. Backgrounder Minister Hussain announces support for development projects in Bangladesh and the Indo-Pacific region. And integrated climate adaptation solution, 15 million over 5 years. So let them waste their money. Let them go into debt. But I know some Canadians that were on there saying, we don't have money for this. Let's check this out really quick. This was from Doug Ford yesterday. We will use every tool in our toolkit. We will apply maximum pressure to maximize our leverage, and we won't back down. Take a listen.
And opposition to President Trump is actually... In addition to these new retaliatory tariffs from China, Canada's tariffs on the U.S. are still in place. Last week, it put a 25% levy on things like beer, fruit and vegetables, shoes, cosmetics, and more. And today, Ontario starts charging a 25% surcharge on electricity to 3 U.S. states, Minnesota, Michigan, and New York. The tariff war and opposition to President Trump has actually unified Canadians. Listen to these remarks from Mark Carney, who is expected to be Canada's next prime minister. He was just elected to head the Liberal Party yesterday, soon potentially to be sworn in as PM.
The Canadian government has rightly retaliated and is rightly retaliating with our own tariffs that will have maximum impact in the United States and minimum impact here in Canada. My government will keep our tariffs on until the Americans show us respect.
Let's discuss with Doug Ford, the Premier of Ontario, which is the province that started to impose that surcharge on 1.5 million homes and businesses in the United States. He also ordered all U.S. alcohol to be removed from Ontario shelves. Premier, thank you so much for sharing part of the afternoon with us. What do you hope to achieve with this surcharge? What needs to happen for you to remove it?
Well, first of all, thanks so much for having me on, Boris. And I start off every interview with telling Americans that Canadians love Americans. I love Americans. It's one person that's caused this problem, and that's President Trump. As he is putting tariffs on us, even if he says he's putting it on hold, there's still 60% of goods that are crossing the borders that will be tariffed. And it's hurting both economies. It's hurting the American economy. It's hurting the Canadian economy. Uncertainty is what people don't like hearing in general life, not to mention the markets are tumbling, and investors from around the world are looking twice at America and Canada.
So he was really big and brave and badass until Trump came back and doubled the steel tariffs and some other things, and said, after Doug Ford stated that he would just cut off electricity completely. And Donald Trump pretty much came out with one of those statements, they'll be held to pay. And then all of a sudden that changed. Doug Ford, take a listen to this.
Conversation. Well, just a little while ago, I had an opportunity to speak to Secretary Lutnick. And Secretary Lutnick has sent out an olive branch to us to come down and immediately meet with him, meet with the whole trade administration, and discuss the future. Rather than waiting till April the 2nd, threats going back and forth, tit for tat, I've agreed to suspend temporarily, and we always have that tool in our toolkit, until we sit down over the next day or two. I'll be heading down to Washington along with Dominic LeBlanc, and we'll have a good discussion. You know, with any negotiation that we have, there's a point that both parties are heated and the temperature needs to come down. And I thought this was the right decision. They understand how serious we are about the electricity and the tariffs. And rather than going back and forth and having threats to each other, we have both agreed, let cooler heads prevail. We need to sit down and move this forward. This is a massive, massive deal. The USMCA, which the federal government will be leading the charge. I'll be sitting down with all our premiers tomorrow.
So I promise you, when it's all said and done, and Canada refuses to tell you they have up to a 390% tariff on the United States farmers when it comes to dairy, cheese, that stuff. But I think it's going to be really interesting to see how, again, United States comes out ahead because of what Trump is doing and how he is putting America first. He's tired of people like Canada. You can love your neighbors to the north. I have a lot of friends that are Canadian, a lot of folks that I've met on here that are Canadian. I love y'all. And guess what? That doesn't mean that they get to ride the coattail of the United States. If it's $200 billion a year, we need to focus. I know a lot of people don't see it from outside the United States, but United States have been crumbling, especially the last 4 years. It is horrible. Our homelessness, everything. We allowed millions upon tens of millions of illegals in. Now we got a housing crisis. We need to focus on us, and we need every last dime in order to do that. Check this out. ICE Dallas has arrested a Mexican illegal alien who killed a man in Dallas County in 2022 by stabbing him 7 times, then set his corpse on fire. Listen to this. But received 0 prison time despite pleading guilty to manslaughter. Instead, he was released into the community by the 265th District Court, according to ICE. Well, guess what? Now he will be getting deported. And I think, let me see what else we have here. If X has anything else going on that we missed that happened. Karen, thank you so much. Says, thanks for all you do for the expense. Thank you so much, guys. We can't do it without you. We appreciate you. Every bit helps, guys. Again, we're just trying to we're about probably 65, 75% of the first of the month bills, getting those caught up. We're behind. And so anything you guys can do to help, we appreciate it. We are 100% viewer funded, whether it's $5 or $50, it all adds up to pay these bills. If you want to help out, Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App, $Oreo Army, or givesendgo.com/Oreo 2024. And then if you prefer to use the Zelle link, you can use the Zelle link. And that is on our website at theoreoexpress.com. But our 2 main links are right down there on the bottom of the screen. Let's see if anything. Oh, they're crying about the funding bill. Oh, check this out. January 6th, insurrection. Look at those people. Baton will crack that skull in a heartbeat, guys. Holding a foreign flag. Check that out. This was 39 minutes ago.
Free, free Palestine!
I'm going to tell you right now, it's so hard to work those protests. You just want to rip off their masks. It's, and I won't tell you the rest. Looks like we'll cover that tomorrow. See if there's anything new here. I love this picture right here. Get in. We're saving America. I think that was the Tesla plaid, right? I think that was the Tesla plaid. Look at Elon's face. Something about Elon, man. Like, he would have been one of the dudes we hung out with back in the day when I was partying. Let's see. I like this one. This is great. This one says, "Hi, Pam, the Justice Department, Senator Marco Rubio. This is Mohan Madawi. He's co-president of the Palestine Student Union and organizer of pro-Hamas rally. He's appeared on 60 Minutes justifying the October 7th massacre. He is currently at Columbia University on a student visa." That's nice work. I like that. I got to retweet that. Go home. Go home to mommy. Yep, let's make America great again. And everything else, it looks like we've covered. All right, so we're good for today, guys. I want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you again for anybody who donated. I'm hoping we can get this all taken care of by today's Tuesday, by Thursday, and then hopefully we can get on the road and do some fun stuff. But again, if you guys want to help out, Venmo at Oreo Josh, Cash App $ Oreo Army. Thank you guys. I'm gonna be gone for a couple hours. We got church tonight. It's Tuesday, but then after that, I'll be home around 8 o'clock my time. If there's any breaking news, I will definitely come back live to you. So you guys have a wonderful evening, and God bless y'all.
I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, just $14.98. So go to MyPillow.com or